all experience is equally valid. This means that happiness and pleasure is not better or more valid than sadness and pain. All experience is equally allowed. Even the greatest of suffering and pain is equally allowed, just as the greatest of success, the most pleasant experience. But notice, to even say things such as this, and to have this be your actual experience, from where must you perceive life? From where must you look in order to see all things as equal? Good, bad, pleasant, unpleasant. From where must you see experience to experientially acknowledge their equal validity and be in total acceptance and harmony of both the positive and the negative, the good and the bad? Can you look through the mind? Can you look at your life situation, at another person, at some pain in your body, at an emotion, at a circumstance, through the lens of mind, and see things in this way ever? You see, the way mind observes things is that it thinks about them, right? And for example, just picking up a random object off my desk, these headphones. The way mind observes any object, is it thinks about them. So it has a label for it, headphones. It works in definitions, in qualities, in quantities. It thinks about the previous data it has on this. It thinks about their function, its meaning, its purpose. And all of what it thinks is just based off of its previous conditioning, the previous recording. So it's never really fresh. Can you look through that perspective at anything and have this understanding, this view, that all is equally valid, allowed, accepted? You'll come to see that mind won't allow you to see things in this way because it is always judging experience. It is always thinking about experience. It's never really experiencing experience. It is always thinking about experience, labeling experience, comparing this experience to the last experience and the next projected experience, comparing this experience to the experience of another, comparing it to the idea it has of success or failure, good or bad. So it's always some sort of diluted perception of the experience, but it is never the actual experience. Notice also how the mind always has something to gain or lose. It's always using this current experience as a means to gain something, to be a little bit more, to be a little bit better, to be a little bit bigger. And it is always trying to gain something or some insight in order to further avoid losing what it already has, what it believes it has. Even perhaps in this video that you're watching right now, the mind is here to gain something. It's rather than just being totally open, receptive, aware here and now. The mind is thinking about what is being said, judging what is being said and heard, and seen. Perhaps it's breaking down what is being seen, the scenery, the image, the voice, the sound, the words, rather than just being here. He's trying to gain something from them. So you see, the mind is always an active participant. It always has something to gain or lose. So it can never allow you to have that unbiased, fresh, open seeing. The seeing which is required to see all things as equal. To not create any distinctions, definitions, separations, divisions. And it is because we are so used to perceiving only through the filter of mind, through the divisions and separations and distinctions and definitions. That's why life feels so structural. Life feels like so constricted, unsafe, fearful. And that's ultimately what we suffer. We suffer not the actual experience. We suffer the mind's labels, the good and the bad, the pleasant and the unpleasant, this and that, here and there, now and then. So if you want to truly dissolve this suffering, believe that, or you must come to see that the solution does not lie in the actual experiences at all. The solution to your problems, the solution to your suffering of those problems is not at all a thing to do, a thing to change in experience, in a circumstance, in the world. We must uncover, uproot, and discard our own mental filters, which prohibit us from seeing all as equal, from being in total harmony. We must learn to perceive without filters. We must learn to be as we really are, rather than always operating under a false impression of what we are, based on the constant thinking that is happening, based on the recording of the past and the projection of the future. Apart from all the labels, the names, the concepts, the ideas that we have come to just collect and hide behind for a sense of safety and security. So see here that even though these things are arising, the concepts, the interpretations, the judgments, and please see in your direct experience that it is perhaps so right now. You're interpreting or judging what is being said, trying to gain something out of that is being said. So it's just a simple invitation. Rather than buying into what is arising, simply be the witness of it. And to be the witness of it is absolutely effortless. It is not a doing either. Because the moment a thought arises, judging, interpreting, there's already a witnessing of it. Only then it is actually being known. So a witnessing is not you doing something. It is actually just the fact of experience. All experience is inseparable from the witnessing of it. Outside of the witnessing of experience, there is no experience. Please see this clearly. So even here right now, perhaps you trying to understand or grasp what is being said, there's automatically a witnessing of it, is there not? So that witnessing principle, you must learn to abide in. See that witnessing principle is more essential to you than the interpreting, the judging, the doing, the becoming, the accomplishing, the achieving. all that is secondary. All that is a byproduct of experience. It is experience itself. But the witnessing of experience, it is very, very elusive. It is in experience, yet it is nowhere to be found. It is the closest that you can come to reality in experience, the very witnessing. Because the witnessing is not an object. It is not a thing. It is not in a place. It is not in time. So it doesn't share any limitations of anything else in experience. Yet it is. It is. There is no experience apart from witnessing. So in order to see all things, see the validity of all things, in order to allow and accept and live in harmony with what is, in order to really mature in your understanding of yourself, in order to dissolve identification with thoughts, with feelings, with the personal idea of who you believe yourself to be, in order to uncover and melt away the thousands and perhaps millions of concepts and belief systems that you have bought into, your conditioning, your past. You must learn to abide as the witness consciousness. This step itself is perhaps the greatest step that you can take in, call it your evolution. And the first step to this is recognizing that everything, all experience, there's the witnessing of it at all times. So the witnessing isn't something you have to do. You don't have to create it. You simply have to recognize that, yes, I am already the witness. However, the witness simply has to go through this separating process from what is witnessed. Because right now, I believe there's a strong identification with the body, with the thoughts, with the feelings, as the witness. But the witness is not the thoughts, the feelings, the body. The body and the thoughts and the feelings are witnessed to change. They appear in the witness consciousness, always flowing, always changing, always becoming this and that. So the body is doing, but the witnessing of it, it just is. The mind is thinking, but the witness just is. It is just aware. So you must come to witness your own thoughts. And then you could even let go of this identification, this whole ownership over the thoughts. No more my thoughts, just thoughts. And then the thoughts can solve and do this and that. The body can act and perform. But there is that aspect of you which never leaves home, which doesn't ever become the doer, the sufferer, the enjoyer. It watches all that in perfect equanimity. This you can call spiritual maturity. The witness consciousness has been known to be the bridge between life as we know it, that which changes, and the changeless. And it is here you must learn to abide. It is here you must come to merge with what you are in essence. So you must notice this again and again. Even the thoughts you're having right now, there's a witnessing of them. Be the witness. Just be aware. Rather than thinking, be aware of the thinking. Rather than eating, be aware of the eating. Separate the witness from the witnessed. See how the witness is not changing in quality in any way, whereas the witnessed continues to be of a different quality, shape, form, always changing. This will cultivate within you a great love, a great detachment, and understanding. And only then can you truly be in experience, but not of it. You know that famous quote? Be in the world, but not of it. Only then can you look with an equal eye on pleasure and pain, desire and fear, good and evil. Only then can you go beyond your own suffering and help others go beyond their own suffering as well. So practice what was mentioned in this video to the best of your capacity, to the best of your understanding, and let the rest of it unfold to you. There doesn't have to be a perfect understanding of what was said in this video. As long as you are open and willing, don't try to grasp it. Don't try to mentally grasp it. You can't intellectually grasp it. And any intellectual understanding will just be a concept. But see what the concept is pointing to. See what the words are pointing to. And of course, if there's no understanding, then just let it go. Just hear, and whatever you did get out of it, practice that. Because the practice of what you did get out of it will lead you to the true understanding of it and the seeing of it. And please make sure to use all the resources in the description box below, the 2 free classes that I've made available to you, and also the program. If you need support with this, definitely take advantage of those resources. But no longer run away from the practice of this teaching. Too much conceptual talk, too much discussion, and not even an ounce of practice, you see. We must stop running away from silence, from what the teaching, the pointers are pointing to. And I feel it is necessary to call everybody out all the time on it as a very, very playful reminder. Good luck, and see you next time.